Take one. This podcast is called Jezebel. Jezebel. Now Jezebel is similar to the prostitute of Babylon, which is similar to Sarah and Abraham with the Pharaoh. Right? You know, people read Revelations, you read about Jezebel and the prostitute of Babylon, and a lot of people say, what is this thing about this woman sitting on this beast, this monster with 7 heads and 10 horns? These Siamese twins, right? You heard me? These like-minded buffoons. Now, everybody know that the Amen, or the high priest, is the actual priest, because the 7 and the 10 is symbolic to the book of Levi. On the day the high priest is born, on the 7th month, on the 10th day. The Arabians will go on later to say no, the God wasn't born on 7/10, he was born on 7/11, and they will be right. Now Jesus is a different story. They say he was born March 25th. God and God's son are two different people. This is the true story of the Holy Trinity that you call Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, but we call it Osiris, Isis, and Setna, and Heru, the hero, or the Memphis version, Ptah, Sekhmet, and Nefertiti. Those are 4 different, damn near 3-4 different trinities. Which one you choose will determine if you live and die, you hear me, by the end of Hanukkah 2025. John Maccabee's The Esther Stories. Choose wisely on this multiple choice question. Alright? Choose wisely. Now, a lot of people don't understand much about law. Right? You hear me? Dred Scott decisions, Supreme Court decisions, federal decisions, all wars that's ever been fought. Before a military order can be sent out, you have to lose in a debate. What? A lot of people like that do podcasts and stuff, they wonder why people come crying on their podcasts when they do these callers. Why? Because they know if they ever had to end up in court and say that same dumb shit that you said on a radio show or a TV show, when your ass end up in court and make a fool of yourself, you're gonna be like 90% of the companies in California defunded with all your workers deported. You know, everything sounds good at a coffee table talk, but court is a deadly place. Court can end up with you on Nuremberg trials where they kill the soldiers and keep the scientists. See, court is a deadly place. See, a lot of us, right, you hear me, we take hip-hop as a joke, right, you hear me, but most people know that before the courts existed, hip-hop was the actual court, whether you're aware of it or not. But say, for instance, some people don't do hip-hop. So we document it for other races of people, these Goyams, in court. All right? Now, Jezebel is the name of the podcast. Jezebel listened to a homosexual. She said her women's rights, her women's rights don't come from the 19th Amendment. Her women's rights came from the homosexual that said it mean Roe versus Wade, somebody else's court case. These women would also listen to the homosexual and say Social Security benefits come from human rights. They don't come from the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment of the Constitution. Because that's what Hunter Biden told the hookers that went to Washington, D.C. So let me get this right. Women's rights don't come from the Constitution, 19th Amendment. They come from Roe versus Wade, somebody else's court case. Okay. Social Security benefits and Section 8 vouchers don't come from 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment of the Constitution. No, that ain't where they come from. They come from homosexuals and LGBT. That's where it comes from. It don't come from the United States government anymore. That ain't where it comes from. Now you're in court And it's the Roe versus Wade all over again, but this time it's DEI fraud. A lot of people that live in Hollywood and Beverly Hills, if they black, how many hoes y'all around here been fucking outside of the ones you paid? Or you did something gay to have access to white women? This is just a question for the niggas in the ghetto. Majority of these hoes that live in Hollywood and Beverly Hills, they don't have bills. They on Section 8-2. That's only provided to other races of people. I would know, because I fuck these hoes and leave these hoes where I found them. Them hoes ain't shit. I would know. See, when you get into the habit of paying for pussy and bribing bitches, right, you hear me? You'll start coming to Hollywood and Beverly Hills and really think these folk got some money that they don't. They don't. If you had hoes around here, you would know. See, I'm going to tell you the same reason I left my baby mama. I thought my baby mama was a hustling bitch, a rich bitch. Come to find out, no, her daddy was rich. She didn't have shit. I was like, well, I don't really date women. If you watch that movie with T.I. and ATL, remember, it wasn't the fact, you hear me, that he didn't like Tiny. He liked Tiny because he thought that she was in a similar situation to him. I mean, not Tiny, but what's Nipsey Hussle's wife? Lauren London. He was like, oh, I thought she was a hustler like me. I didn't know you came from a wealthy family. I don't breed with women like that. I breed with hustlers. I breed with women that know how to make some money in a bad situation. I breed with women that can't be bribed. There's a movie about Russian women called Red Sparrow. In this movie, Red Sparrow, a lot of these white women, Asian women and Spanish women, are taught at an early age, even when they're kids, to have sex with whoever they're told to. Africans too. Aboriginals in the United States of America, we've never told none of our nieces or daughters, you hear me, to have sex with a man just because we said so. But their culture does. I want you to think about something. Have you ever seen a lot of these women who breed with these losers ever say anything negative about them? No. Who do they go on TV and talk the baddest about? Rich Shannon Sharp, right? You hear me? Black millionaire, O.J. Simpson, Tupac, you hear me, right? Even though Tupac didn't rape me, his homeboys raped me. So let's just say, a lot of y'all really don't know. White, Asian, and Spanish women have been taught since child, like in the movie Red Sparrow, to the only way you date a black person and is if you can gain the economic advantage over them. Like I said, if you was to show me, say for instance, we in financial literacy class and we doing assets and liabilities, we teaching real estate and stocks and bonds, show me the percentage rate of black men, aboriginals, not African men that you hired, right, you hear me, to do some bullshit. Show me the success rate. The success rate is literally at 0%. And that's not by mistake, that's by design. That's not by mistake. Keep in mind, like I said, I've never dated outside of my race till I moved to California. I was already 30 years old when I moved there. I'm almost 40 now. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. You hear me? Truth be told, you hear me? Like, I can watch like you. We not related. I don't give a fuck. You hear me? The only reason why you end up fucking with me, a lot of these hoes, you hear me? Because you just happen to be around me at the time. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. There's an old saying, man, you hear me? You can't miss things you never had. I'm like, shit, I won't date your people no way. So what? I already got a baby mama. Some men date the same woman the rest of their life. I wouldn't give a fuck. Some men date the same woman for 50 years. That's true, brother. I got homeboys got some of the ugliest wives in my eyes anyway, but they were like, shit, she was good to me in high school, so that's who I'm with. LeBron James is still dating the same woman he dated in high school. Some niggas is like that. And rightly so, because it's a very wise decision, especially when you did, like I said, watch the movie Red Sparrow. These women don't have sex with men they love. When a majority of them got OnlyFans. They fucking username 99, right? If username 99 put some quarters in the arcade machine, she gonna show him her pussy. Not because she love him, because she paid him. This is the truth about the economics of dowry and bride price. You're dealing with a race of people that for a food stamp card and a Section 8 voucher allow their kids to dicks to get chopped off. Say for instance you black. You have sex with an immigrant, whether she white, Asian, or Spanish. You end up doing some time, anything, overseas, in the service, whatever. Hey, I need your kid to come to this DEI program because I want to chop his dick off and move me into some transsexuals. You dating some immigrant bitch, you hear me? Guess what she gonna do? She gonna do it. A black bitch wouldn't do it. An African bitch, she might do it, but an Aboriginal woman, she wouldn't do it. She wouldn't do it. So a lot of you niggas, you hear me? You sitting here holding hands, right? You hear me? Keep in mind, there are more black millionaires in the United States than any other race of people on planet Earth. And billionaires. Show me collectively 10 Spanish, Asian, or white people that got $1 billion in the bank account. I guarantee you, if you said it would show me 10 black billionaires in the United States, you wouldn't even have enough fingers and toes to count all of them. There's a reason. We have what we call morals, integrity, principles, values. We can't be bought. There are people, right, you heard me. Hey, I'm going to let you cross this border and give you some food stamp card and a Section 8 voucher, but let me have your children. They would do it. So when I see a nigga, he like, yeah, man, I got this bad ass bitch, you hear me? She from Spanish country, Asian country, European country. Yeah, and next thing you know, the child you have by them ends up in the Alejandro Medici Jean Grey scandal. Has anybody watched these new Netflix TV series about these women who breed with men just so homosexuals can breed with their children? The Queen Elizabeth and the Bloody Mary stories. What they call the Treason Act of 1537. Jezebels. Keep in mind, sanctuary city has something to do with a church. Let's just start there. The sanctuary city has something to do with a man named John Maccabees, what they call in Jewish culture the Treaty of Kadush, or Hanukkah, the Christmas story. How many of these people last name Maccabees or John? Or what the truth is, the name Markava John. You hear me? Mark John. That's the truth about it, what the name is. Einstein, Weinstein, Epstein is not Mark John. That's not the same thing. It's just not. It's not. All right. I put the economics of dowry and bride price chart up there. They say Latin Americans are legally the slaves of the 21st century. But then I see another thing. Such and such a Spanish person you've never heard of is charged with a RICO Act and all these people that's with him. I said, that's bogus. They ain't even got no money today. I'm gonna give you a prime example. If you woke up in the morning and you check your bank account, your bank account say, I have $4 million in the bank account. You ain't going to nobody's job. Fuck all that. Matter of fact, you ain't going. Matter of fact, motherfucker might not hear you at nobody's job for the next 5-10 years. You hear me? You like shit. That work is over, as far as I'm concerned. Let alone if the motherfucker actually had billions of dollars. It's not realistic. If you had 10 million OnlyFans subscribers at $2, that's $20 million. You putting a dildo in your ass the next day? No. It's fraud. So they done caught you with these more money machines. They done gave you some fake money. Keep in mind, like I said, black people, we can't be bribed. There's no such thing, say for instance, you making a dope game transaction for real drug dealers, not niggas that get fucked in the ass to come across the border, real drug dealer. Say for instance, you in a drug deal, if you were a drug dealer, and they say, hey, let me fuck you in your ass and I'll give you these pounds of weed or these keys of coke. It's never happened. If I can do a sex change on you in the jail, you can beat your charges. It's never happened in the street world. So now you start to understand echelon, right? You hear me? But then you start to understand international business and treaties. British people give it to Asian people, give it to Spanish people, give it to white people. What they would later call entrapment in the 21st century. Because ain't none of y'all got no money. Real money comes from America and the United States. If your country was so rich, why are you so desperate to be in America? Because we done gross domestic product studies, national domestic product studies. Your country ain't got no damn resources in no desert. There's no resources in Saudi Arabia in the desert. No, there ain't shit growing in the desert. There's nothing growing in the snow. You're here because you're desperate to be around black people because our breeding practices is why there's green grass on the earth, and your country had dirt because you're homosexual. Like I said, seed and soil birth things. Two homosexuals, you hear me, they can fuck every day for 365 days a year and never have a baby. It's stupidity, you hear me, thinking something productive will come out of that situation. Here's the problem, a lot of men don't know. Losing your soul in Hollywood, what they say happened to these rappers and these actors, they lost their soul. Yeah, because you got fucked in the ass. Remember, the devil can only fuck you in your ass if you agree to it. You agreed to it. This ain't no secret contract that you made. That shit was on the news. You are advocating for to get fucked in your ass. You hear me, right? You hear me? That's called losing your manhood. Then you come around and say, yeah, we're the same. And Kendrick Lamar and these gangbangers, you hear me, will come back and say, no, you're not like us. We never got fucked in our ass, you hear me, for benefits. That's what he's really saying. We've never pedophiled children in a ritual, you hear me, for a place to stay. We never sold our mama to OnlyFans for a meal today, to be able to eat food today. So that's the delineation movement. That's the delineation. Like I said, you ain't the first person that dealt with RICO acts, right? You hear me? Like I said, if you studied the BMF cases, what happened to them? They did business with gay people and illegal immigrants and caught life sentences. Any black person that came from the streets know that. Craig Petty, same shit. Rayful Edmonds, same shit. Rayful Edmonds coming to California talking about he got a white bitch. Next thing you know, he's doing a life sentence. White people, Boston George, come out here in California doing business with homosexuals, life sentences. After a while, you hear me, common sense will tell you that's not a good business decision, which makes me back to the financial literacy situation. Financial literacy work like this. Whoever I think gonna make some money tomorrow, that's who I need to put my money with. Homosexual, he don't think like that. He say, whoever I think gonna make some money tomorrow, that's who I'ma sabotage. And that's why he got a life sentence, and everybody else who understood to invest with that person and make some money. Homosexual wake up in the morning, whoever gonna make some money tomorrow, I'ma try to do some fraud right there. You hear me? Financial literacy course say, you hear me? You on your way to death row. And I ain't talking the record label. See, that Gestapo Nazi shit still happen, but not in the racist way you think. They call it death row today. The killing the damn fools, you hear me, who sperm ain't worth shit never stop. They just call it death row today. That's what Tupac and them was saying in that what is the Tupac Machiavelli story? That's a man that tried to use a woman to meet a man. That's what Tupac was saying in his song Machiavelli. That's what that album was about. It's about men that try to use women as an excuse, you hear me, to look at another man. That's what the Machiavelli story is about. It's called treason. What is the Jezebel story in the Bible? It's a woman that realized another man legally has real estate property and say, hey, can we steal that real estate property? What's the Miss Universe story? The soldiers grabbed the bitch and threw the bitch out a window and killed the hoe for thinking crazy shit like that and broke her neck. She died. Read the Bible. They say the prostitute of Babylon is Jezebel. Who is Jezebel? It was a woman that seen a man that she couldn't date, that wasn't listening to nothing she was talking about. She thought to hire some men to try to figure out how to steal it. And the soldiers caught this woman and threw her off a balcony and broke her neck, you hear me? And the dogs licked her blood off the ground, just like Miss Universe, you hear me, a couple years ago. I'm going to tell you something about war. Real soldiers don't want to see none of their people. What they say, the art of war is to win without firing a single shot. That's the whole secret to the shit. The secrets of war. That's diplomacy. Diploma don't just come from high school. A lot of these races of people are being literally obliterated. So you got to understand something. Say Spanish people like, yeah, I got to hook up with these Asian people and these white people. The Asian and the white people never told you. Those black people you jealous of, watch the mafia movies. Those black people you jealous of are the reason resources grow out the ground, what Einstein would call general theory of relativity. Yeah, your country is a desert, but what these black people are, you hear me, they produce resources on planet Earth. They directly connected to Earth. They don't get sunburned like you or none of that shit. They know that. They ain't confused about that. They know your race of people can't produce shit in your own country. They not confused about that. Those are the real, that's what Luciano was telling the Dutch show people. Say, man, these people you investing in, they country's a desert. Wherever these black people go, money pop up. We got two choices: do business with these black people or the people. Because keep in mind, there's 4 billion people in Europe you ain't never met. There's 2 billion people in Asia you ain't never met. There's 1 billion people in Africa you ain't never met. United States of America is a couple 100 million people, but the Aboriginals live here. You done brought your immigrant or your African ass over here, right? You hear me? Asian, Spanish, knowing damn well your breeding purposes don't even work in your own country. Your country's a desert. All black people ain't Aboriginal. How do we know? There's a thing called diabetes. I don't know how many times I gotta keep reiterating this shit. I don't give a fuck what country you think you from. There are only 4 blood types on planet Earth. If you ever become sick in a hospital when you catch something called diabetes, you're gonna find out, no matter how supreme you is, that the only supreme race on planet Earth is O positive. It's a bloodline called the Aboriginals. Say they can help anybody, but they don't want shit from nobody who ain't the same as them. Not saying they actually had to help you neither. You can't help nobody. How do we know? Because we have a thing called diabetes. They check your bloodline. Say you can't do shit for nobody. You can probably do something for somebody that's of your blood type, you hear me? But you can't help Aboriginals, you hear me? There's nothing you can do for us. Scientifically, you're gross to us, you hear me, based on science. Hence the delineation movement, what the Aborigines didn't. You can lie and say you Cherokee Indian, but when they pull your blood type, you hear me, they don't say O positive, everybody gonna know you're committing fraud. And we know you ain't an Aboriginal because a lot of you still getting sunburned, you hear me, before they even check your blood type. Now say for instance, certain people say, well, now that we know that, let's bribe the Aboriginals. Here's the problem with that. Aboriginals have a priest. Just like a church have a pastor. I'm still the pastor, the preacher of the church, and I'm saying I don't give a fuck about none of this shit y'all got going on. I only want to date Gangsta Boo. So now I don't give a fuck what aboriginal you think, you hear me, you gonna put on. Keep in mind, like I said, there are black people that got in the porn industry. Show me one black person in the porn industry that ever became a millionaire. It never happened. It's never happened. Michael Jackson didn't even get his money in the music industry. Prince didn't even get his money in the music industry. 50 Cent went bankrupt. I want you to really think about Chris Tucker, you hear me, bankrupt. Yeah, I'm with Chris Tucker over there. I'm in China, nigga, I got it going on, bankrupt. Eddie Murphy, I got this Spice Girl, you hear me, he on child support. Yeah, I do. Wow. O.J. Simpson, you hear me? I'm dating the white bitch, you hear me? I'm on Naked Gun.
You got a lot of truth.
Thank you. O.J. Simpson. Remember, Naked Gun is with one of the most, I say Liam Neeson probably been around more than any actor probably in the past 40 years. He been doing shit since, it was a movie called Invisible Man, I think, you hear me, right? You hear me? But the original Naked Gun is O.J. Simpson. It looked new to the young generation. That's an old ass movie O.J. Simpson used to be on. Him and man, I can't think of this guy's name. You hear me, right? You hear me? But the original person that was on the movie Naked Gun was O.J. Simpson. That was the famous movie he was on. He was one of the first outside of not Jack Johnson, but what's the man that played Darth Vader? James Earl Jones, you hear me? After the 70s and 80s, Sidney Poitier and Bill Cosby, he was one of the first pioneers before they had a black mayor called what was it? Tom Bradley, right? You hear me? Because when Tom Bradley became mayor of LA, he started investing in black actors. Before then, you just had to be fucking great. You had to be like the best, creme de la creme, best of the best type shit when it came to acting, sports, and entertainment in order to be on TV or a Wheaties box. They don't even have Wheaties no more. Tiger Hood. But yeah, even that situation failed. He needed a Johnny Cochran. Keep in mind, the keeping up with the Kardashians, they whole story is not even the fact that they dad is Robert Kardashian is why they got money. They dad is famous because he was an assistant counsel with Johnny Cochran. Like today, back in the day, LA had the thing for the most famous lawyers in town. Like I said, I got people at Harvard, Pepperdine, UCLA Law. You hear me? They won't stop emailing me, want me to go to their law school. My thing is, I don't join people who lose court cases to me. I'm like, that's stupid. Why would I do that? But nowadays, the best lawyer in California is an insurance lawyer, and you find yourself. I'm gonna keep in mind, right? Say for instance, if the best lawyer in your city is an insurance lawyer, remember the person that charged Donald Trump with the RICO Act in Atlanta was a black man that tried to go to a see, they had pulled these niggas airplane tickets. They said all the shit you learned about black history was when you went to them reparation conferences on these days. I watched the whole trial, you hear me? I watched the whole trial front to back, like I watched Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial front to back. When they found that, when Amber Heard found out the money don't come from Hollywood, it come from the United Nations, you heard me, and these Peace Palace Red Light District Civil Societies. They the experts that do the research, and we take the research, give it to the government, then the government, you hear me, write the grants. And people bid on it. So I watched the trial. I watched the whole trial front to back. And I'm looking at the trial, and this guy said, they said, what court cases have you ever won, sir? He said, I ain't hardly won none. They said, sir, have you ever owned real estate, stocks? Or you know what assets, liabilities are, income, and expenses? He was like, no. They said, sir, it look like you're an insurance. They said, sir, between you and these three men, how much money does your company make every year? He was like, well, $140,000. He said, sir, how much money is that split amongst 3 men? Sir, that wouldn't even cover the cost of living. How in the fuck, you hear me, do you know about multi-billion-dollar corporations that even say a person that constituted a crime? You're an idiot. They had to drop the whole RICO case on him. This is probably the only person outside of me, Donald Trump, Jay-Z, right, you hear me, and Shakira. Them the only people you ever heard of in the 20th and 21st century ever beat the RICO Act. And Shakira ever told you the truth about how she beat it. I bet it came with some dick in her life from an Aboriginal. You hear me? That's truth about it. But them the only times you ever heard of it. Normally, I don't care if your name John Gotti. You hear me? Yeah, catch a RICO Act, going to jail for the rest of your life. Because it's called tax evasion. Because taxes itself has nothing to do necessarily with the IRS, earned income credit, and child tax credit. It has something to do with something called taxonomy. Taxonomy has everything to do with the science of agriculture and commerce. You hear me? How resources grow out the ground, divine nature. And when you're doing unnatural acts, and not supernatural acts like you're lying that you're doing unnatural sex acts, you go to jail for it. Because you're doing unnatural sex acts, trying to create natural tax money, you hear me, from it. That's fraud. Then trying to pretend you operate in the supernatural. Yeah, the supernatural demon world. That's the supernatural world you in. Jezebels. Let's get back to them. A lot of people, like I said, I was studying how I did these chapter 4 real estate properties. Because the economics of dowry and bride price do consist of you dating some woman of a different ethnic background, right? White, Asian, Spanish woman. So I'm reading the paper, because here and there, I ain't gonna lie, I fucked a whole bunch of Spanish, Asian, and white bitches. Because I'm like, shit, bitch, if you're around me too long, ho, you hear me? But I'm like, I'm not dating you like that, you hear me? I've been knocking bitches down here and there because I'm a man. That's what I'm supposed to do. Men fuck hoes, that's what he supposed to do. Dick going pussy. But I'm like, shit, you hear me? You still a setup, bitch. There wasn't nothing changed nothing about that, you hear me? So as I started reading the real estate records, right? Because remember, I originally started coming to California because the United Nations wanted me to study this whole biodiversity and climate change. Keep in mind, right? I told people, have you ever read the biodiversity paperwork? It say biodiversity. Now, a lot of people say, Marquez, what's the difference between biodiversity and diversity? I said, let me speak something to you. If I said the word shoe, can you give me my shoe? Shoe is spelled S-H-O-E. If I say S-H-O-E, we know we talking about what? A shoe, a tennis shoe. Right? I'm gonna show you the importance of language and having an education. Now, if I said the word shoe, S-H-O-O, that means what? Get the fuck away from me. You see how me just changing O to E can literally change the whole definition of that word. You didn't get that wrong by mistake. Biodiversity means breeding. It doesn't mean, you hear me, being included because you're a different race of people. Biodiversity means fucking, you hear me? That's what it means. And what happened was, the economic experts said, wait a minute, well, that diversity shit you talking about is fraud, and it looks like you had sex with people on this economic chart, and they're labeled as taxpayers or employees, or some of them slaves. There's no benefit system that benefits slaves. Benefits come from the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment, which are black people that fought in the Civil War. That's where it come from. Roe v. Wade does not give women rights. Roe v. Wade comes from the 19th Amendment in the United States of America. If you think that dumbass shit, go to your country and go ask them for them benefits. That's not how it works over here. Section A, sanctuary cities come from 13th, 14th, 15th Amendment. By President Johnson. I heard a woman say some dumb shit. She said and this was just being subliminal. Everybody know Johnson family vacation are black people. Johnson married Grays, you hear me? Any Egyptologist will tell you Johnson married Gray family is the only royal family on planet Earth. The only one. She said, President Johnson, and she was just saying it subliminal because she was around me like some people different races say nigga when they see me. I'm like, I don't expect me, that mean king. I know the etymology of the word. Like I said, I'm educated. I know what that shit means. If President Johnson come over my dead body, I was like, bro, you might be a dead ass bitch, you hear me? Because there's been a few presidents last name Johnson. To 3, you hear me, in the United States. Yeah, you might be a dead ass bitch, you hear me? Like I said, investment mean, this how you invest. If I think a nigga got the plug, That's what I'm investing in. If I think a bitch, you hear me, out here gonna make some money, that's what I'm investing in. If I think a rapper finna blow, that's what I'm investing in. If I think a sports player gonna make it in the NBA, NFL, that's what I'm investing in. These DEI fraud dumb and faggots, you hear me? They do counterproductive shit. They invest in people who more debt getting defunded and deported. I'm like, man, I don't give a fuck. You hear me? Like, what person that really knew how to hustle would do some crazy shit like that? Nobody in their right mind would do that. This how the people wake up every day watching MSNBC or some stock and bond channel looking to see if Dow Jones and NASDAQ went up or down. They wake up in the morning to decide if they need to invest money with it. Cause they making money? That's why I'm investing it. Oh, look, they getting their shine on. Faggots don't think like that. Faggots wake up in the morning and say, whoever I think gonna make some money, especially if they black, that's what I'm going against. And next thing you know, you getting defunded, deported, and indicted. And death penalties getting issued for you. With further let me know you can't have no degree in business or economics and you ain't never hustled. That's just like if a nigga got some good weed for a low price. Shit, that's who we spending our money with. Like, no, I don't like that nigga. I'm gonna go invest in the nigga with the boo-boo weed. Like, hell no, you hear me? I'm trying to make some money, get some customers. Because this is what I want to get to with the Jezebel. I said something. I'm glad I built up the suspense. And if you've been listening long enough, it's time for me to drop the bomb. I had 50 women on the phone yesterday. All of these women are multi-millionaires, right? All of them. You ain't got one bitch that's a millionaire. Like I said, bro, I told the bitch one time, I said, you talking about I hang with a bum. I said, this bum then went platinum 2 times, made $1 million a couple times in his life. You still doing quick visits. And your family work a minimum wage job. You can't spell $1 million. I had 50 women on the phone. They was telling me they were doing scaling for business. Now, anybody that know economics, scaling come from OnlyFans bitches. This is truth about it. Scaling come from dating women, rich women that date men from wealthy families with potential to earn income. That's what scaling means. I can tell they never been to business school. So I'm listening to these women. They like, yeah, we're going to teach you how to. Keep in mind, there are more people that are celebrity mentors or financial mentors than there ever been in human history. I can tell they never been to business school. Scaling has something to do with called extrapolating. Anybody that go to business school, this is what they're going to tell you. The word scaling means extrapolating. If you don't know what extrapolate means, what niggas say, when young Jesus, trapper died, niggas, you hear me? I got the trap house jumping. That mean I got so many customers, nigga, coming. I got so many influx of goods and services being sold. You hear me? You wouldn't even believe it. You hear me? Like, for real, I got so many customers, I don't even know what to do. That's what the word scaling means. But you don't see these companies scaling and extrapolating. Scaling comes from, say for instance, you my customer. See, only dope boys really know what scaling is. If I got a junkie, and the junkie, I know the junkie get a check, I can credit the junkie because the junkie gonna keep coming back. Right, you hear me? I'm trapping. Right, you hear me? Then I can charge him interest, you hear me? Because I know he gonna give me a little more for fronting him. Right? Even in the movie Friday, we've been fronting people shit. That's our culture. They don't have a culture of scaling and extrapolating because it got something to do with fronting. Front mean I can give you something without asking you for no money up front because I can charge you more than the original price later, right? You hear me? And get my money and apply pressure if you don't pay me. Or find a way for you to make it up, whatever the case may be. Depends on how we feeling that day. Because we the one with the plug. We connected and we can legally do it. Just like pimping hoes on the track is scaling. If you date this pimp, the police might scoop you up for prostitution. If you date the pimp with the, what they say on the movie, the Mac, with the, you're a tax haven for hoes, you hear me? Yeah, those are two different pimps. Your hoes gonna get busted for prostitution and human trafficking. My hoes got OnlyFans, legally. Then it's all tax, it's all legal. It's red light district in the United Nations, Peace Palace, red light district, with the Johnson Murray Grays rule. Your last name ain't Johnson, Murray, or Gray. What can you actually do for an OnlyFans bitch or a motherfucker sell weed? If a scandal broke out, nothing. You can go to jail. You and them. You're gonna get a RICO Act, life sentence. You're gonna learn look like a damn fool. You know damn well your name ain't Johnson, Murray, or Gray. Bobby Johnson, BT owner Bob Johnson. You ain't none of that shit. Jamal Murray, none of that shit. And you know it. Ain't no damn 3 people need to make that. The only 3 people they talking about legislation need to come together. Johnson, Mary Gray, when making major legislative decisions. That's what they're talking about. Keep in mind, right, like I said, I was reading chapter 4. That motherfucker said, long as I show interest in a woman, I ain't necessarily got to date the hoe. I said, well, shit, that's just an OnlyFans subscription. See, a lot of these women, I already know, like I said, watch the movie Red Sparrow. You were trained as a kid to set up men in sex scandals. What is it? A Me Too sex scandal, LGBT, DEI fraud scandal, whoever they told to have sex with, like they say on the pimp movie. Whoever they tell her to fuck, you hear me? That's what she gonna fuck. She's stupid like that. Cause she's still around her, these Katie Sampson, all these men. Scaling means the 7 hermetic principles. Bitch, scaling means extrapolating, which means I have so many goods and services that are of the best quality. I got the best customer service on planet Earth. I got my trap house jumping, chop out that bando, something like that, right? You hear me? You got so many customers coming because your customer service is so good. Your quality of your products is so good. You hear me? What they say, what they say, it tastes like chicken. You hear me? To the junkie, you know what I'm saying? You hear me, man? How good these products is I'm selling around here. They done start telling people that scaling means emotions. Scaling is an assembly line. Or a OnlyFans bitch from a wealthy family, right? You hear me? Well, you can do economics of dowry and bride price. That's where it come from. I can put this pound of weed on the scale. And it's a good product. That's scaling. A lot of these men around here, they ain't trappers. So how are they scaling? Scaling means I have a product I can put on the scale that are goods and services. If you look at 90% of the men in California, they don't have a product or a service. They're lingerers. You know what a lingering, I'm gonna tell you what lingering is. When you go to a store and say no loitering. Loitering means you just standing around and you don't even got a job, you hear me, or a product or service. You just standing there looking stupid. If you go to a company, there's a sign on it say no loitering. That means don't sit around here just looking stupid at other people, you hear me, if you don't have a product or a service. That's what loitering means. No loitering. Scaling. What does scaling mean? Extrapolating, which means I have a good, like me for instance, right? When I go places, I can go to, I went to a red carpet event day 4 yesterday. Me, Stephen King. Listen to this shit. Me, Stephen King, private events, less than 100 people. For new movies that come out. Think about it. I have people like Grant Cardone, multi-billionaire, always trying to call Chip to hang out. I never hang out. I got 50 bitches with over $1 million in their bank account, always calling me on the phone. You ain't got one person in your whole goddamn call log, you hear me, you can call that got $1 million or $1 billion. You got a whole bunch of people committing fraud. I got all the whole phone number, you hear me, that sell pussy in California and across the United States, you hear me? I'll never call them. My whole family, you hear me, on churches, some on doctors, Congress people. I never called them on the phone. I'm like the niggas that I grew up, that I looked up to when I was a kid. I'm my own man. I do my own thing. What the mafia say, La Costa Nostra. You hear me? I got my own product and service. I don't live off what my family done accomplished, my friend. I'm not the type of nigga that. Matter of fact, we call pimping in Memphis. We still say making easy money, pimping hoes and style. We say if you have to live off a woman, you at the bottom of your game. Because it's not impressive to her. Because she only gonna take care of you for so long. Because it's still leverage, but after it's just, have you ever seen a hoe in the strip club and you like, how old are you? Oh, I'm 54, and she still shaking ass in the club. You're like, damn, what went wrong? You know, the stripping business or OnlyFans is like the movie Players Club with Ice Cube and AJ Johnson and the nigga Dollar Bill and the nigga on disability. It's something you do on the side, like the dope game, till you legally get a degree or enough money to get a business or some type of career to get out of that shit. Now, truth be told, a lot of the shit is legal today, but back then, right, you hear me, you had to hustle up on the shit till you legally found the career, started a legal business, or got your game going. That's what it always been for. A lot of these people be in the game committing crime like it's a career choice. I'm like, this ain't no damn career choice. It's called economics. The word economics itself is, if you have a scarcity of resources, how would you handle it? Keep in mind, I don't know what a lot of crazy people think when they see me. I'll be like, do you know my bank account still say unlimited to this day? So when you start competing, you hear me? I want you to let that marinate in your mind. You hear me? That's what then my bank account say, man, mirror on the wall, my cave, you're gonna make money for the rest of your life if you never motherfucking me lift a motherfucking finger. So when I see people competing, I be like, you obviously ain't in your right mind. This is without an album, without a book, without a movie, you hear me? Real talk, you hear me? I put in so much work as a kid. Like I said, when I was a kid, you hear me? I was what they call a master juggler. Nigga, I'm like the nigga, you hear me, on the Future video, you hear me? Nigga, I got a job, nigga, you hear me? I hustle on the side, you hear me? I got that hoe on the now I'm doing like I'm like Big Worm, nigga. I'm selling ice cream to kid. I got a motherfucking another job selling with like for real. When I growed up, I've been working probably since I was washing cars probably, you hear me, 12, 13. I always been a hustler. I ain't gonna like some people, you hear me, put in so much work. It's just like when I was in jail. I got so many nigga murder charges beat, they kicked me out the jail. You ever got kicked out of jail? I was in jail collecting so much money, they came in the jail. Get out of here. You ain't never lived my life before, you hear me? Like for real, for real. I live an awesome lifestyle. Like I said, I'm 3,000 miles from where I originally grew up at, you hear me? And got 21,000 real estate properties my first year, you hear me? Off a hoe with a satellite. You still working, talking about your first house you moved in or your second house. We not equal. My kid been going to private school all his life. We're not equals. Right? See, a lot of people keep saying this word equality, right? Say for instance, OKC played the championship against, I want to say these white boys, what's the white boy name that play for the Lakers now? So if somebody win the championship, we don't say, well, we both gonna share the trophy. That's not realistic. That's not realistic. If we watch the NFL Super Bowl, like I said, white people, Asian, Spanish people still think they have the right to live on black people label. Black people get to whooping their ass around here, you hear me? Like, no, you don't, you hear me? Like, then they start looking crazy, you hear me? Like, look, dude, we see, this is the thing, right, you hear me? Economics work like this. This is how stock and bond work. If you invested in my company, when my company make money, you get what's called dividends. They call that stocks and bonds. A lot of white, Asian, Spanish people, men or female, they be like, when have you ever invested money in Keppel books? So how in the fuck, you hear me, do you have this dumbass idea in your brain, you hear me, that you gonna make money when I make money? You're not realistic. It's called stocks and bonds. If I invested in Apple before Apple company blew up, yeah, I make money. Why? Because I can show I invested in this company before the company blew up. Say Keppel Books, you hear me? I go to court, I win $1 trillion. You like, yeah, man, we on, man. You like Chris Tucker on Money Talk. Yeah, man, you hear me? We finally made it. No, you gotta be like Shaq. Shaq told his kids, no, I play basketball. I made $1 million. You ain't made shit. You know, spoiler alert, y'all my children, all of them gonna take care of you, you hear me? But my money is still my money. That's why, you hear me? I ain't gonna lie, I used to have a grudge against my parents having all this money growing up, you hear me? Owning all these churches and all these boards and directors and shit they was on. They was like, no, but what if something happened to us? How you gonna make some money, my case? That's why I'm glad I had a better upbringing childhood than most people. I lived in a mansion as a kid, you hear me? Truth be told, still had to go to work every day. To learn what's called the value of a dollar. They ain't never whooped me. They ain't never gave me a whooping. But they might lecture me about some bullshit, you hear me? But they taught me a value of a dollar. Just no, get your ass up and put some applications in, you hear me? Go to work. And learn what it is to pay bills. Now me, like I even had a grandma one time, right? She said, I hate you and your uncle. Y'all the type of niggas that pay somebody. Say for instance, if I don't want to cut the grass, I'll pay somebody to cut the grass. She said, you lazy. I said, wrong, smart. Smart. But learning the value of a dollar might save a lot of y'all lives. Stop trying to live off other people's labor. There's nothing wrong with, say for instance, right, you hear me? If you work at a dishwasher at IHOP, there's nothing wrong with that. Dude, I know a lot of people that are famous rappers today with Fruits and them that had a job bagging groceries. I ain't gonna say their name, you hear me? At Kroger's. Or just grocery store. I don't know if they got Kroger's in California, but like at Kroger, I ain't gonna say the name right here. They my homeboy. They famous rappers today. But when they was at work, you wouldn't know they motherfuckers ass had a job, you hear me? They were low key, you hear me? Yeah, man, no man, you hear me? Collect the fruit check, bought a car, bought some studio time, you hear me? Invested in it and were gone. Y'all motherfuckers are what the Russians call the Bolshevik areas. Employees who think they the bosses. That's really what happened to y'all. You're a person with a whole job in the world, right? You know a person, there's a thing in the military called rank structure. If the general manager walk in McDonald's, say for instance you work cash register or you the manager that day, and you say, yeah, I'm the boss, and one day the GM show up. One of the persons from what they call corporate show. Like for me, I would be considered corporate. I don't like the term, you hear me? But say I'm actually chief executive officer. Whenever it's a real meeting, I don't give a fuck if it's Hollywood, if a city council meeting pop off, you hear me? Anything can come. Trust me, I'm the first person they gonna call, you hear me? Like I used to I had to tell a lot of black people that want a reparation. I said, you can say what you want to say about reparation. The first person they gonna call, you hear me? They gonna find me. Nah, I can be in the alley getting high as a motherfucker. You hear me? Smoking weed. I can be in a strip club. They gonna come find me. Man, we need your help. You hear me? I'm telling you how serious it is. You ain't got nothing to do with chief executive officer, none of that shit, right? But say for instance, the person that's an actual executive working corporate show up. You a whole employee in the world. No more than you a private or a sergeant and a lieutenant, captain, colonel show up. And all of a sudden you say, nah, I'ma outrank you and say what I want to say. Next thing you know, you fired, you hear me, and under fire, you hear me. That's what's supposed to happen to you because you crazy. A lot of people are in positions of power for either experience or skill. But remember, like Dave Chappelle, right? Dave Chappelle, there were people say, I don't like Dave Chappelle new Netflix special. And you a white man, you like gay people. Can we fire Dave Chappelle? That's what they told me. We fired Dave Chappelle. They might say, Dave Chappelle make me $1 million every week. You a dusty motherfucker, you hear me, waiting to get a check from me every week. That's the difference. And he might make something else help me make a couple more $1 million every week. You a dusty motherfucker, you hear me, sitting there talking about you work this many hours this week, you want a check. Dave Chappelle come here and say, man, we can make some more millions off of this. Do you see why, you hear me, I'm listening to the Dave Chappelle type niggas versus your faggot ass. That's like in the street world, you got a nigga like, bro, I'm selling 100 bowls a week. You got another nigga, he's simping, hope somebody feels sorry for him. I gave you 25 cents on the soda you were buying at the store that day. Like, nigga, get the fuck up out of here. You sound crazy. Financial literacy courses will save your life, man. You hear me? You supposed to invest with whoever gonna make some money. Matter of fact, a lot of people, I can tell, like, this is where entrapment came from in the dope game, and why the dope game ain't really even relevant, truth be told, in 2025, unless you're a dummy. You hear me? They said, wait a minute, you're sitting around waiting on people to be successful to sabotage. They said, no, that's entrapment because we need to get the economy pumping. We got to get these good, this scale and extrapolating. Like the fuck what you talking about, Jezebel? I got to get so many customers. It's just like on OnlyFans, right? Say you was on OnlyFans. Don't you want the most amount of money for either the best quality for the least amount of work? Yeah. If I could make $1 million twice a month, why would I go to work, you hear me, 200 times in a year? Say for instance, right, a person gave an analogy. We was having a survey a couple years ago in the pandemic. They said, would you rather get $10,000 a week for the rest of your life or $10 million all at once? It will amaze you the results of this survey we ran. We went around, we started asking people, they said, would you rather receive $10 million a month, $10,000 a month for the rest of your life, or a one-time payment of $10 million right now? Do you know that over 90, I'm gonna show you how the human mind works, and you're gonna realize a lot of people not in their right mind. They would say, I want the $10,000 a month. Keep in mind, if you was to ever even do the math on this shit, $10,000 a month times 12 is over six figures, $120,000 a year. $120,000 times 10 is 1.2 million, but that's 10 years. Do you know, you hear me, it would damn near be over 50 years before you even seen 10 million from that 10,000, and you could have got the 10 million right then and there. That's how crazy people is in California. They'll sell out, you hear me, for a little or nothing, majority of them. A real nigga like, well, shit, just gonna give me the 10 million. Shit, I find a way to put some businesses in place that make me $10,000 a month off this 10 million. A OnlyFans bitch, she'll stick a dildo in her ass for $20. I'm not making this shit up. A nigga can walk in the building in a strip club that got $20 million cash in the bank looking for love. She'll sell out for a $40 lap dance and ignore the nigga with $40 million sitting in the club. That's how crazy they is. They stupid. And this is 90%, like I said, we did the survey already. So we didn't already realize there's no hope in teaching you economics. And you could teach it to them, they still to be stupid. Like I said, a woman in a gentleman club can know that a man got 40 million. Keep in mind, the name of the game is to be a gold digger. That's the point. I told my niece, you hear me, like, man, when you graduate high school, if you don't think that nigga got the potential to earn income to get a Rolls Royce, he won't be your prom date choice. Most women, you can have two men in the club. One man is a construction worker. He just got paid $400 that week. There's another man sitting across there that got $40 million cash, verified. You know it for sure. That nigga on TV and some more shit. She'll sell out for a $40 lap dance and blow her chance with a man that she could have damn near got half his money, $40 million. Like I said, 10 years ago, a woman that fucked Kobe Bryant or one of these famous rappers, shit, that's half his money. You a multi-millionaire. You be like Dr. Dre or Snoop Dogg wife. They get millions of dollars every month just for living expenses, legally. And can't nobody do nothing about it because they agreed to it. Unless they got a prenup. Most women, there can be a man in the club, they can know he got $40 million, will ignore that man and listen to a man that just got paid, that's a construction worker, only making $400. This is a $10,000 a month versus $10 million all at once conversation. That's how crazy they is. So when we started realizing, most black celebrities, we was like, shit, why are we gonna put all this energy into these women? That's a waste of our time. So what we did, we started studying economics and inflation and deflation. We was like, we allow them to date homosexuals and they have to start going to the sperm bank to breeding purposes. Eventually, they all this high price, high maintenance shit they got, the price is gonna drop. It's just like a drought, right? You hear me, in the dope game. What had happened was they went from charging $10,000 for pussy at Hustler and Playboy to now that $10,000 pussy you was paying for, it ain't even $10 no more on OnlyFans. All we had to do, this is, I'm gonna tell you, man, economics makes no mistakes when it comes to supply and demand. All we had to do was allow them to hang out with homosexuals and niggas with regular jobs. And the price of pussy, I can't make this up, from 2017 to 2025, go to business school, look at the economic charts. The price of pussy went from $10,000 at a minimum to $10 on OnlyFans, if not less. How do we do it? Because we left them to the losers they were dating and started dating loyal bitches, you hear me, that understood our dreams and our visions. Economics makes no mistakes. Now all of a sudden, you go on Instagram. Instagram has 4 billion users. There are 8 billion people on planet Earth. 2 billion of those users have an OnlyFans profile. We dropped the price of pussy from $10,000 to $10 just by letting them hang with homosexuals. They didn't even realize the business plan behind it and the marketing strategies. Now, black rappers, when we come across $5 million record deals, or the baseball or the basketball football player, he get a $10 million deal. Now, instead of us spending all this money we just made off our hip-hop contract or our sports contract, it doesn't cost us $100,000 every night like Lil Baby that was playing in the strip club. No, we're going to give you that bundle package. You say you want $4? That's what we're going to give you. Because I'm going to give you a prime example. Say, for instance, if I was a dope boy in the dope game. A pound of weed normally costs $1,000, $800. If I could buy a pound of weed that normally costs $1,000 for $1, if I just sit back and let her keep dating that homosexual, you hear me? I'm gonna get that pound of weed for $1. Why pay $1,000 when I can let you hang around this faggot and I know the price gonna drop? And when the price drop and it's a drought and I'm the only person got some money, now I'm buying up all the products, you hear me? That's simple economics. You can't get mad at us for allowing you to play yourself. Now, truth be told, we don't have prices on loyalists, you hear me? We don't. That's why you'll see your guy that been already gave Glorilla her money for her record deal. That don't stop him from saying, look, here go an extra $1 million and I just bought you the new Maybach truck 2026. Cause you kept it so G, you hear me? I know your contract I only owe you a couple $100,000, but here go an extra $1 million. I made so much money off of it. Because you were real, you were loyal. That's why you see she don't sell pussy. This is a little skinny black bitch, you hear me? From our hood. See, a lot of these women, like I say, they have these transactional mindsets, right? If you give me $40, man, fuck what that nigga with $40 million talking about. I ain't listening to nothing he talking about. Jezebel. Keep in mind, right? Like I said, I went to church today. Jesus, right? You hear me? Was sold out for 30 shekels of silver. Now, if we was to look at what is the price of silver on the stock market today? Say, for instance, a shekel of silver as an ounce of silver. Silver has been around about $30. Might be a little bit more now. 30 times 30 is $900 United States dollars today if we was to put that shit in currency. Now, Jesus was sold out for less than $1,000. Keep in mind, right? This nigga was in the treasury. The treasury got billions and trillions of dollars. And at the bank for millions of dollars, you hear me? And that nigga was sold out like Joseph, you hear me, in the time of slavery. Remember Joseph, you hear me? They tried to sell him out for $1,000. He took over the police station. The real King Tut story, you hear me? Like, nigga, yeah, go on sell out then. I'm gonna play dead. If they gone yet, yeah, you hear me? Man, lock all them niggas ass up there just trying to set me up and them bitches that's with them. Next thing you know, the drought hit, you hear me? He over there playing dumb, man. I'm poor as a motherfucker. The whole time, he the boss. He done sold their ass, you hear me? I'm gonna lay on the ground like salt, yeah, nigga. The whole time, he like, yeah, they locked all that. Yeah, I had the money the whole time. Dummy. Sell out. And I know this is a true method, you hear me? This is how I got rid of my first baby mama, you hear me? I said, man, I need to get rid of this hoe, you hear me? I said, man, but the bitch, long as the bitch think I still got this money and all this shit going on, she ain't gonna never leave me. I came up with it. I done told the bitch I love her, I want to marry. I said, I know I get rid of this hoe. All I gotta do is play broke. I'm gonna play broke till the hoe finna move my mama. I played broke on that hoe for about a few months, you hear me? That hoe slowly started drifting away. Whole time, you hear me? I still had the same shit I had going on since the whole first met me. I said, I'm gonna put on, every time the hoe see me, I'm gonna act like I ain't got shit going on, you hear me? I know how I feel. See, I'm gonna tell you something about that. Because the person that really fuck with you, hear me, they gonna figure out how to make some money. A person that's trying to live off your label, you hear me, they don't give a fuck. They just wanna leech off you. Those are two different people. Your friend, if you ain't making no money, they ain't gonna judge you. They gonna say, man, listen, if you doing bad, I just found this new job or this new hustle, man, that we can put together to make some money. A leech gonna leech till a leech can't leech no more. Your friend, you hear me, right? You can be down bad. I done seen my uncle take a nigga out of crack house, you hear me, real talk, and make that nigga look like $1 million nigga in less than a week. Real, I'm talking about for real. Real friends, you hear me, never turn their back on you. That's these people, you hear me, from the other race of people, they have no loyalty. Like I said, they are paid to fuck whoever they told to fuck. They don't fuck off who they in love with. That's why I don't date them. And never will. I never have, I never will. I grew up around, like I said, I grew up in Memphis. The population is over 70%, damn near 60, 70% black. So I don't have to deal with bitches, you hear me, that fuck me, and you hear me, because they're told to, you hear me. I only date bitches that actually like me. If I ain't never dated your race of people in the past 8 years, I ain't gonna start today. It ain't stop me from fucking hoes, but we don't date. Dating, you hear me, like we're together. Now, if I get drunk enough, you hear me, yeah, I'm shallow hell, nigga, you hear me. I fuck anything, you hear me. They say, call my heat, yeah, if I'm drunk, you hear me. But as soon as I come to my senses and get to think about my bankroll, you hear me, bitch, I'm gone like Batman on your ass, you hear me. I know you don't give a fuck about me. That ain't the point. I might just need. I'm gonna tell you like a hoe told me when I was a young nigga. Shit, I just need a nut that day, nigga. I don't like you like this. You hear me? You a cool nigga though. You hear me? That like bitch, get over it. You hear me? For real, I learned from real street bitches. You hear me? Like nigga. Now what happened? Some of them same street bitches realized I became the street nigga they were looking for. You hear me? That's a different story. But you hear me? When I was a teenager, you hear me? I learned the same way. Like I said, I'm gonna end on this note with these Jezebels, right? You hear me? Like I tell a lot of people. Say for instance, like I had a thing when I was 14. I was at this movie theater. And keep in mind, I was the smartest person in school. I was always on stage for winning principal lists and awards and stuff all the time. All my life I've been smart, even military, here in academies and stuff. Even to this day, you hear me? Real estate and stocks, highly decorated. I tell people my name's so heavy now you can Google me. And there was this guy standing next to me, right? He told her that he was a famous rapper. Now, she think, because I'm the smartest person in school, that he was a famous rapper because he's standing next to me. This is before MySpace, YouTube, Facebook, because this is like 24 years ago, almost 25 years ago. There was no social media. So he just said, I'm a famous rapper, and my name's such and such. And he had X and everything, just like when you heard the nigga on the radio. I had never seen the face before. And she fucked him and gave him some pussy and everything. Some of her chicks that she was working on the side from school. She see me, you hear him a couple months later say, man, your friend fucked me. I was like, what friend? You hear me? I was using that nigga for money to help him with his homework for chips and juices. That wasn't my friend. You were dumb enough to think because you couldn't date me that you would make me jealous by fucking him. And you got the results. That nigga ain't no famous rapper, but I'm still chipping. I got a award show to go to next week. You hear me? I'll holler at you later. You're a dummy. And that's what's still happening to you women today. You hear me? Like I said, there are 8 billion people on planet Earth. There's 365 days in a year. I couldn't date all y'all no way. That's why I make a podcast. But how the fuck I'm gonna talk to 8 billion people on planet Earth? Is 365 days in a year. Half of them are women. Well, you know damn well. That's why I say King Solomon had 1,000 wives, or King David had 1,000 wives. Not the fact that he had 1,000 wives. There's only so many women you can date in one lifetime. Because it's 365 days in a year. How much pussy can you get in 365 days and you're only one person? And it's billions of people you gotta select from. You hear me? I'm like, shit, bitch, you blew your chance. But you know how many people, like, for real, like I said, keep in mind, like, me knowing that I was the boss, I'm the one with the tax that I'm the only person that can legally run your quote-unquote tax exempt program. I know I can just wait you out, wait for the price to drop just like it's a drought, or wait till you get indicted in your DEI fraud scandal, pop out the only person with the money. Shit, same as dope game. You hear me? Back in the day. Let you date the loser, let your price drop. I still got the same money, the same resources, all the money. You hear me? And when you ain't got shit and I'm the only person got something, you hear me? I just pop out with all the shit. It's the same as the street world. What we call the droughts over poetry and emotion. Never really changed about you. One thing people who know me growed up, you hear me? They gonna say, Chip never changed. I still whoop niggas' ass. You hear me? I still fuck hoes. You hear me? Ain't nothing really changed about me. You hear me? I still go to the studio rap. I still might hang out at a dice game every now and then. No amount of money really gonna change that. You hear me? I still shoot them choppers. You hear me? Just like the military. Nothing really changed about me. I probably, as I done got old, I think I read more books probably now more than ever. I think I might meditate a little bit more. I do a little bit more reflection on what maybe I could have improved or who my predecessors might be if not my children, outside of my children. Because outside of your children, aristocrats or shabti, what they call in Egyptian culture, right? You hear me? Sometimes I just be looking for the younger, like sports counts. I be like, man, what else can I put money in? Is there some sports stuff I need? Because I always wanted to do like, not so much like Tom Shepard on the board of the rim, but kind of like look at the people that's younger than me and do what T.I. and them say, show you this how you avoid that trap. If you listen to me, this or show women, right? You hear me? This how you can avoid. And your guy to say, here go, you can make a couple $1 million doing this, so you don't need an OnlyFans. You don't have to work at the club. You know, you get you a Shopify, and this is how you hustle up on. So I'm always looking for like young protege, like real hustlers and shit, like for real. Just like entertainment companies look for the next best artists or something. Like I'm always looking for that. But truth be told, out here I rarely find it. I find people that basically trying to live off other people's labor, and I be like, now if you put in work, you hear me? Yeah, you live off the labor because it's your company, but you don't even own the company, majority of you. A lot of these people are employees that won't live off other people's labor, and that's the fraud. You know, so y'all heard the albums that's getting ready to come out. A lot of the instrumental selection. We still got the movie Leprechaun's Lawyer coming out soon. Our Chipper's ministry about the I'm gonna teach people that the Bible is not a fairy tale, it's a history book. I'm gonna teach about the Chipper's ministry. And I also got the Quest for a Silver Fleece by W.B. Du Bois. It won't end with Genesis 38 or Zariah, at least ends up with the money. It's Genesis 50 happy ending, you hear me? But we won't forgive him, you hear me? He said he gonna forgive him, but he gonna move on. They just can't do business with him no more. And I gotta put those 3 movies together. And after that, I'm going ITT Tech, nuclear power plant, Great Sun power plant in particular, right? You hear me? And be like the black Mr. Burns from the Simpsons show, but without Homer Simpson burning every goddamn thing down. If that makes sense. I don't know if that's my phone or a piece of chicken something. But yeah, you hear me? I gotta eat my food, man. You hear me? Love, peace, and hair grease. Young Chip the Great, my name. Whole weight, I'm out. Pharaoh Trillion album still in stores now. I made, remember, $200,000 for student loans. You hear me, man? I'm a hell of a hustler. $2 million every quarter, you hear me, on my hip hop reports off my artists, but I'm still firing his ass, you hear me, when his contract up. Plus, you hear me, all the royalties I get from my books, Land of Milk and Honey, you hear me. You can run that, or I'm sending Shoot to Kill orders out Monday, you hear me. Call a petition for a writ of mandamus, you hear me. Yeah, big worm, nigga, you hear me. In the store. Peace out, Girl Scouts.